So this is all animation. I see that you all have become very strong with animation. Animation is taking something and making it move or change effects based on the click of a mouse button or a pointer or any event. When I do this, this changes. So that is like you all did click-based animation. So stage 2 is game designing. Using this animation and click events, we are going to create our own game. Is that clear? Yes. So if you are midway through name animation, that's fine. You can finish it later on. I'll access it and I'll leave comments. So start a new project. So create.
Did you say game?
What?
Okay. Did you say we're making our own game?
Yes, you're going to make your own game. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Create a new project. Okay, so this game that you're going to create today, it is very close to my heart. You know why? Because I designed this game. I wrote coding for this game when I was in college. Okay, and you are learning it in elementary school, right? And this game, long time back, I did it using a language called C graphics. In C graphics, we write lots and lots of text-based programming. You have to write words and words, put it together, compile to create the game.
But
In C. What, Karthik?
C#?
C#? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, that was like, this was even before C#. So first there was C, C++, C#. So this is just the language C.
Oh.
So it was text-based game designing, which is very difficult. You're all lucky. You have like all this visual aids. You can see it and you can do the programming. So this is called the Pong game. Do you all love playing ping pong?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a mini ping pong table.
You do? Yes. So this is a Pong game, ping pong game. Back in the days, we used to call it Arkanoid. In DOS programming, we call it Arkanoid and the ball goes up and down. So we'll call it Pong game. Go ahead, name your game. Pong game. Yes. So of course, if it's a game, what sprite do we need for a Pong game? What do you need to play ping pong?
A handle and a ball.
Yes, that's all. So you need something so it can bounce off and you need a ball. So first let me delete this sprite. You can do the animation with me. I think don't be too much stuck in animating your name. That's okay. Start a new project. Let's keep it going. I know you can finish it later on. Okay, so work with me so it's easy for you. Pong game. Are you all till this far? Did you name it? Yes. So let's choose a good backdrop. You can pick whatever backdrop that you want. Get creative, pick whatever backdrop you want for a ping pong game. So let me choose this one. Okay, and of course, it's a Pong game. I need a ball. So let me pick my ball. I love this ball. So I have a ball ready. And you all know how to make this ball move. So what do we use to make the ball move?
The move tool, the motions tool?
Yes, a simple move 10 steps. So see, if I click on this, you can see the ball is moving, right? So I am going to say when event. So when I press this, the ball keeps moving. I'm losing the ball. So what do I use? Which one do I use not to lose?
Bounce.
Who was giving the answer?
If on edge bounce.
Yes. If on edge bounce, I wanted to bounce back. So let's find that. If on edge, bounce. So it's moving step by step. So what is the loop block I use?
Forever.
I think somebody else should take turn. I want you all to raise hand and I can pick who's going to answer. So Karthik doesn't get all the answers. So which loop do I use right now? Anybody else?
The forever loop.
Yes, go ahead, put the forever loop and let's see what happens. So all this is simple steps. You have the ball moving side to side, but the ping pong game gets very easy if the ball is just moving side to side. I want the ball to move at an angle. So what do I do now? Which block should I add? Anybody else?
You should put glide 1 second to random position.
Yes, that is nice. That's a good one. You can glide to random position, but it's a Pong game, so it moves by the laws of science. So when I hit it, the ball is not going to move to a random place. It's going to hit the paddle and go at an angle, right? Don't you think so? When I hit it, it doesn't move randomly, it moves at an angle. So it turns at an angle. So you can use that for a different game too. Okay, Swesha, that's not a wrong answer, but for this, we are going to make the ball turn 45-degree angles. So let's make it turn 45-degree. So let's see what happens. It's moving on and on in the same spot. So what is it? What is something that I did wrong and what should I fix? Any idea? Anybody?
Put a weight block? Maybe put a weight block.
Weight block, you can, but this one turning, it shows like point in the direction. So first we have to add it outside. Point. So when the ball points in direction, instead of like 90 degrees, if we put 45, so it points in one direction, that drifts the angle of the ball. Instead of going side to side, when it moves, when it begins, it goes at an angle 45 degree. So that makes it to touch all the different sides. You see that? So I'm turning the ball when it starts moving for the very first time. Did you all get so far? Yes, Kemen got it, Swesha got it. Nina, are you here?
No, still working on my.
Still working on yours. Okay. Now what do I need? What do I need? I have the ball moving. So what's the next sprite that I need to create?
The paddle?
Yes, go ahead, choose a sprite and then add the paddle. Have this paddle, and usually the paddle is placed at the bottom and it moves side to side. So the event is going to be when the flag is clicked, because I want the paddle to move right when the game begins itself, right? So what I'm going to do is, wherever I move my mouse arrow, the paddle should go with the mouse. And the paddle is not going to jump up and down. It is just moving in the x-axis. X-axis is a horizontal line. Y-axis is up and down. So it's moving just in the x-axis. So I am going to set the x-axis for the paddle. So see if you can find out the set x, and you're going to make it to the mouse's x.
Oh wait, it's in the motion section.
It's in the motion. Okay. Okay, set x. I am going to set the x-axis of the paddle to mouse X. So wherever I'm moving the mouse, even if I move the mouse here, it's not going to take my Y values. It will just take the X value of the mouse. So that I'm going to change it to the X position of mouse. Mouse X. Mouse X.
Okay.
Yes, Vesha.
Where is it again?
Set X is in the motion block. If you can see, you will see set X. Set X2. You see that? It's in the blue colored motion. I'm changing the X-axis of the paddle to my mouse pointer. Wherever the mouse pointer has X, that's the one that I'm changing it to. So I scroll all the way down and then I find the mouse X and I put it there. It's sensing. This is a lighter blue, it's in sensor because it's sensing where my mouse is and it's putting it over there. So check your coding, please, if it moves.
I'm not pretty sure I see it.
Okay, let me do it one more time. I go to motion, okay, and then I find this one, set X2. I put it in here, dark blue. I go to light blue for sensing, and then I find mouse X, and I add it in here.
Okay.
And now somebody has to tell me why it is not moving. If when you test your program, I don't see it moving yet. Why?
Because we don't tell it to go to my mouse pointer. We don't tell it to go to the mouse.
It is setting the X as mouse X, right? No, try a different answer, Karthik. We have set the X coordinate, but still you have to do one more thing for it to move.
Set the Y coordinate?
No, you don't set the Y coordinate here at all because the paddle moves side to side. It's something simple which you have always done.
Point towards mouse.
Try it and see. Try it if you see the answer. If you see it working. No idea? Okay, so now what is happening is I'm setting the X to the mouse X, but it says when the green flag is clicked, do this, right? Always the execution sequences, it will do one block only once. So it's running this for once, just for 1 millisecond. It's setting the X of the paddle to the mouse's X. And that's it, the program is over. But I want it to keep doing over and over and over again.
You have to put forever.
Awesome. Good job, Swesha. So you have to put forever. So once it's done, again it resets the X to mouse X and then again it resets. So try putting the forever loop and check what happens. I'm going to stop this and then if I see, now it's working because again and again and again it's doing it. You see that? Are you with me so far? Give me a thumbs up if you're with me so far.
Thumbs up.
Yes. So this is done. So I have the ball, I have the paddle, but it's not still a game. So when the paddle hits the ball, what should it do?
What should bounce the ball?
It should bounce the ball off. So for that, where should I write the coding? Should I write the coding on the ball or should I write the coding on the paddle? So which one would be efficient?
The ball.
The ball, because when the ball hits the paddle, I want it to do something, right? So let's go back to the ball and let's start another set of programming. So for the very first time, you are going to do sensing. So first let's get this done. So what is touching what? So you are in the coding for the ball. when the ball is touching the paddle, right? So go ahead and pick the paddle. So when the ball is hitting the paddle, what are you supposed to do?
Bounce.
Bounce. So how do you make this ball bounce? What can
By
we use?
changing its Y?
By changing its Y. X also changes. X changes and Y changes. Both X and Y are changing. If you just change Y, when it hits, it's like a rocket launch, it's going to shoot up, right?
Yep.
So if you don't change the X, we want to change X and Y, and you have to keep the laws of physics in your mind too. So I have a paddle and something is coming and hitting here. So most likely, which direction will it bounce off? If it hits here, will it bounce off this side or that side? Usually, like, which direction does it hit off?
The other side.
Yes, so when you throw a ball, it just bounces exactly in the what angle it's hitting, bounces off. And the speed of the ball when it bounces off, is it the same speed or will the speed increase?
It's gonna change.
It's going to change, and of course it's going to be little bit increasing. So right now you have moved 10 steps. So obviously when it bounces off, it has to be little bit faster. So you are going to make it move 15 steps. So that's for sure. You know it's going to move 15 steps, but still we have to figure out which angle it's going to move up. So this one, should it be, what is the event that it has to be? So this event, it happens throughout the game. So the event which I'm going to use is when the flag is clicked, okay? So right from the moment the game starts, this should be activated too. And again, for the very first time, you are going to use the if then block. So if touching paddle. If the ball is touching the paddle, I want it to bounce up. So for this turning, we are going to use 180 degrees. Why do we use 180 degrees? Because there is a saying that, like for instance, there is a common saying, we say that when I took this program, it changed my life 180. Have you heard that? In books or in, like, if something impacts you so much, they say, my life changed 180. Like for instance, I'm sitting here, right? If I'm turned towards this direction, 180 is like turning all the way here. So it's the exact opposite direction. Okay, it's not 360. If I turn 360, where will I end back again?
The same position.
The same position where I started. So I don't want it to, if I start from here, 180 is, I'm facing the opposite direction, but it's a complete change. So that is 180. So we are going to make the ball turn 180. So go ahead and find turn 180 degrees. And obviously you want the speed to increase. And then it just hits and then turns, it moves 15 steps. Just to make it visually appealing, we are going to add a weight block so you are able to see the effect of it happening. Okay, so add 0.5 seconds weight. And just like what we did before, if I run it, it will just do once. If I execute this program, it will just do it once. So if I want it to happen throughout the game, what should I do? What should I do?
Forever loop.
Yes, forever loop. In gaming, forever loop is very, very important because if you don't add it, it is not going to, okay, I think you have to add forever loop outside the if. Forever, this happens. Okay, let's test the code.
Coach K,
Yes, Karthik.
I found a way to make the ball actually move like faster each time it hits the ball.
You make the
paddle.
ball move faster each time when it does what?
It hits the paddle. I figured out a way how to do it.
Yeah, you can do it. That will be level 2. So that'll you're like that's your homework. You have to add more difficulty levels to the game. We are on level 1, right?
Yep.
So let's make the people comfortable with this. Earn some score, and if it reaches a particular score, it goes to difficult levels. Okay. So now, do you see, are you with me so far? Do you see the ball moving? Are you able to catch the ball?
Yes.
Coach K,
Yes, Vesha.
should we make a variable that's called score?
Yes, of course. That's what we are going to do right now. So do you all see this? Did you all get so far? Is the ball bouncing off your paddle without any problem? Is it bouncing off the edges of your screen? Did you get so far, Kemen? Did you get? Yes. So we are going to add a scoring system, obviously, but do you see there is still a flaw in the game? See, if I leave the ball, it's bouncing off the bottom. Do we want that to happen?
No.
No, that is an error. But if I have the paddle just like this, it's still working. But when it hits the bottom, we want the game to come to an end, right? So I'm going to go and add a new line. So I am creating a line. So why am I creating this line?
Because if the ball touches it, then you lose.
Yes. So that coding, can you all do it yourself and show me how you did it? If the ball touches the line, then game over. You know all the coding for it. So it has to be in the coding for the ball. It's a if loop. If the ball, if touching the line, then game over. Go ahead, do the coding and share it with me. You can do it. Try. And it has to be in the coding for the line, because if the ball is touching the line, then you do it. So go ahead, write the coding in here and show me.
Coach K, I did it a different way.
Okay,
I'm done.
you're done? Okay.
Yeah, I just need to test it. Yep, it works.
Okay. Anybody else? Did you do the coding?
I'm still trying to work on my name. I'm trying to make the N smaller, so
And
yeah.
Nina, I did say animating the name, you can do it at home. I mean, you can have it as a homework and do, but follow along with the game designing.
Okay.
Can I share my screen and show you the method?
What, Karthik?
Nothing.
You said something about a method.
Nah, nothing.
So let's do it one by one. Each one of you tell me one line of code. So in the line, Kemen, what's the first line of code? Which event? What event should I pick? Kemen, I don't hear you.
When the green flag flicks.
Awesome. Vesha, next line of code.
If touching ball, then.
Okay, awesome. So let me do that. Keep touching ball there. Keep touching.
Coach K, should we broadcast it to say the end?
You can. If you want, you can say game over. If you want, you can do that. But there is another block called stop all, which will stop everything. So everything will come to an abrupt halt. So you can use stop all. At the same time, you can broadcast too. And I'm going to put it inside a forever loop. Okay, let's test. Okay, so everything is coming to a abrupt halt. And if you can say game over, that's up to you. You can get creative on it. I'm going to show you how to do the score, and we will talk about how to make this design, this game, little complex. Okay? So first, let's do the scoring. So what do you need to score? Every time when the ball hits the paddle, you need to add the score by 1, right? So let's create a variable. How do you create a variable? Go to this orange button, variable, make a variable. We want to make a variable for all the sprites and name it score. So right now you see a score right on top here. And what would be the coding? When what touch what, you need to add the scoring by 1.
If the ball touches paddle.
Yes, awesome. So where do you do the programming for it?
The paddle.
The paddle, or you can do it on the ball too. So this is, since it's a variable for all the sprite, you can do it across. If it's in for a particular sprite, then you have to do it exactly in that. Okay, but before that, one important thing is you have to set the score to
0.
So that, let's first do that. Again, orange, and set score to 0. Okay, tell me the steps for the scoring. You can increase the score by 5, you can increase the score by 10. If you want to increase 10 points at a time, you can go ahead and do that as well. If touching paddle, then we are turning 180 degrees, and this would be a correct spot for you to increase the score. So we are changing score by 1 or 10, whatever you want. If you want to do skip counting, you can do that too. Can we test our game?
Should we make it say a sound so it would be easier to say it?
This would be the right spot to add the sound to. You can make a pop sound every time when it hits. You have to make sure you write it exactly at the correct spot where it hits. You don't want it to turn, move 15 seconds, make the pop sound. So make sure you can test the program and see which would be the correct spot to add the pop sound. Oops, I got 3. What's the highest score you all can get?
Oh, I can get 15.
You can get 15. If you can get 15, then it's time to increase the level of difficulty for the game. Do you all like this game?
Yes.
Okay. Now, to increase the difficulty, what all you can do to increase the difficulty of the game? Some ideas?
Maybe like you could So make a variable called like difficulty, and then you could change the difficulty, and then every time. Well, what I did is I created a variable called speed. So I set speed to 10 at the beginning, and then it moves speed step. So, and then every time you like, if you, score equals 15, like set the speed to, I don't know, like 10 or like 15.
So there is like lots of ways you can add difficulty. So what we designed today is level. Your homework would be to do level 2. So the most easiest way to make the game difficult is you can decrease the size of the paddle. If the paddle is too small, the game gets difficult, right? And you can increase the speed of the ball. You increase the speed of the ball, then it gets very difficult to catch the ball and do it. And having little gaps on the bottom line, so that will make the game easier. So in the bottom red line that you have, instead of having it as one solid line, if there are few gaps where the ball can still bounce off.
Coach K, what's the homework for level 2?
For level 2, you can make the game a little bit more difficult by increasing the speed of the ball or by decreasing the paddle size, or having multiple paddles. You can have 3 paddle, and 1 paddle you can use it once, and when that dies down you can have another one. So the homework
Okay, so
for we have few advanced students in the class too. So for y'all, I'm going to explain. Okay, are you ready for it? Ready? So we are going to, just like this paddle, you are going to add more sprites like this, or maybe better. Okay, like this. You are going to build lots and lots of bricks on top. See this? So when the ball hits the brick has to disappear. Okay, so when the ball hits the paddle, you earn 1 point. But when a brick disappears, you earn 10 points. So that is little bit more coding. When you hit there, you have to make it disappear. At the same time, you have to catch the ball too. Okay. So for level 2, you will have all these bricks. Let's experiment with coding. So Karthik, when the ball hits this sprite, I want the sprite to disappear. So help me with the coding. I want this particular sprite. Let's do programming for the very first one, button 3. When this ball hits button 3, I want this button 3 to disappear. So how do we do that?
One flag clicked. Forever.
Okay.
If touching ball. Hide.
Hide is
It's
going
in
to,
the books.
okay.
It's right there. Down.
you said for level 2 for making multiple paddles, and what else?
And
You can pick whatever you want. Make the game difficult. So that's the goal.
then do one.
Make the game difficult, okay.
And then do one flag click show. Put a show like after the one flag clicked. Yep, that's it.
Okay. So let's copy this, and it's like simply copying this and pasting it for all the other bricks too, right?
Yeah. But you also need to put a go to. So like if you drag it accidentally, it always goes back to that position.
What goes back to the position?
like like you need a
So when the ball comes back to the paddle, is that what you're saying?
no so you're supposed to like add like a go to X and Y to each of these,
Okay.
because if you accidentally drag it somewhere, you won't know where to put it back, like
Yeah.
at the exact position.
Got it, got it. So let's first test it so far, what's happening, and then we'll make all those updates too. Okay. Wow. Two at a time.
It's kind of easy.
Easy for you. For them, it's their first game, right?
No, I mean like playing the game.
Uh-huh.
It's actually kind of easy to play the game.
Oh, okay. And to begin with, also, you can position the ball wherever you want it. You can position the ball in so that every time you play, it doesn't start from the same position. So that way the game gets repetitive. So to begin with, you can randomize the position of the ball, for which you can write the coding here. Okay? Yes. So using the bricks for advanced gamers to increase the difficulty, some of these bricks can be in different colors, like hard bricks. You can have a golden brick, a silver brick, which you have to hit multiple times, only then it will disappear. Okay? So with one click, it should not disappear. I have to, like for instance, if this button is very special, I can change the costume to a different color. So first time when I hit, it will change to maybe, see, if it is in a darker shade of black, I can change it little lighter shade, again a lighter shade, again a lighter shade. Then finally on the fourth hit, it disappears. Do you understand it? Kemen, do you understand it? Yes. So can you try this? So the challenge for you, first thing is to remix somebody else's project. So whatever project that it may be, pick any project and remix this. That's your first homework. Second homework is we did level 1 of the game. Level 2 of the game, I have lots and lots of obstacles on top, and some of those are difficult, which I have to hit it multiple times for it to change costume, and finally it disappears. Think you can do it? Yes. Awesome. See, in the regular Arkanoid game, the ball gets trapped over there and then it hits multiple times and then it comes back. So you can even put it bouncing off of this and then come back. They arrange the bricks in different ways. So for level 1, it will be like this. And then level 2, you have all the bricks stacked on one side. Try experimenting with that. Okay. And any other questions you have from today's class? Do you?
So the homework is to try and make like try and make the ball hit the one of the rectangles multiple times, and then it pops, and then you get a point.
Yes. When the ball hits the brick, the costume of the brick should change. You can get
Okay.
creative. You know animation, so if you can draw your own sprites, you can make it explosive. Like if this ball hits this brick, I can make the brick explode, or I can make it change color, or can
Do we have to add like do we have to add bricks, or can we like make it harder in any way?
you can make it any way. You can make it. It need not be the bricks. You can just get creative with whatever obstacle you want. So that's just an obstacle right in there. Then because why I say it's an obstacle is when the ball goes all the way up there and comes back, I have enough time to move my paddle. But when it's bouncing off of this, there's very less reaction time for me, right? So that is an obstacle which automatically makes the game difficult. Get creative, and I can't wait to play your games. you are all like in elementary school and you're becoming game designers. So, which is like, I'm so proud of. You're all being on track, and only if you do your homework, you can make progress. Because only when we do the work, there's like multiple doubts which come, and that will help us to keep moving. And don't wait till last minute. If it's a Saturday class, don't wait till Friday evening to finish your work. Just get it started today and tomorrow. Try doing it and try sharing it. Even if it's halfway in the progress, add it in students' project so I can see and I can leave some comments. Change this, add this, and all those comments I can leave it for you. That clear?
Yes.
And right now, if Swesha is ready, we can see your name project. Just show us what you have so far. I like your backdrop, Swesha, blue color.
Yeah. So if I click the S, it will change color and switch to a white backdrop. And if I touch the W, it will bounce and make it in a fish eye. If I touch the E, it will swirl. If I touch the S, it will go up and down and it will be like bricks. Then if I touch the H, it will say hello and will make copies of it.
Okay.
If I touch the A, it will make more brightness.
Okay.
If I touch the other A, it will switch to another backdrop.
Wow, that's awesome. That's good. It's kind of like everything you have put it together, all the effects that we learned. Good job. Okay. That is good. You can stop sharing your screen and make sure you add it to students project. And Nina, you want to wait till next class to show your work, or you want to do it today?
I think I'll wait till next class because I still have to work on it a little bit.
Yes. And I think then Karthik, I want you to do a two-player ping pong game.
Oh, okay.
I want to see both the side
And
you with the mouse, other side with the keys.
Well, then I'll have to start a whole new project.
No, do another one. Whatever you're working, that's fine. Start another project. Yes, Visha.
if I press the the green flag, it will reset it.
Oh, that is good. You wrote coding for resetting too. That is nice. That's awesome. You're all learning at a very fast pace. That is really good. Keep up the good work. So going forth, we will be doing lots and lots of game designing, all kinds of animations, and which you can invite your friends to play with too. So all those games we are going to invent. Do you have any game suggestion for next week? I have a game in mind, but do you have anything else in mind?
A maze game?
A maze. Yes, we can do maze. There's so much things that you can learn using the maze. Yes.
Chase game?
Coach K, can I share my screen for a second?
Yes.
For the ping pong game, I made something so like the button is apparently now an explosive, so you're not supposed to touch it. And then if you touch it, I want to see if I can touch it here. Let me just get it to a position. All right, so if I ever touch this, it's gonna explode and see lives right here.
That's
So your lives go down by 1. And if you have 0 lives, you die.
Yeah. So lives, that variable is so easy to, just like how score is increasing, life is another variable which you can decrease with every time.
And also for one of the games, we could do like a racing game.
Yeah, that would be nice racing game. That would be.
There's lots of tutorials on YouTube.
And you know what? The best part is when you all really get strong in game designing, the Vido kit and your EV3 kit, we can combine with the Scratch programming. So when I move my Vido motion sensor, your race car can go really fast, and we can do all those things too.
What? You could make like a controller out of EV3?
Yes. Yeah.
Whoa.
With EV3, it's even more exciting with all the sensors. We can combine it, and that you can use as a joystick to control your race car. So I want to reach that level, because when everything opens up, like when we get back to normal life, Saturdays, it's so hard to organize classes like this, because we'll have Saturday events, expo and all this kickoff, everything will be happening. So use this summer holidays as the best time for you to make a big leap in coding. Is that clear?
Yes.
You have all the time and you have all the coaches available. So we have, you remember Ryan. Ryan came on the very first day to show a lot of demonstration of gaming, right?
Yeah.
He is really good in combining Vido with Scratch, and he has designed a whole bunch of games. He has even created like the traffic system. So with LED lights and with all this Vido, he has created lots of great projects. And this is the only time when all these great expert coaches are available. So make use of the time and then try. So we will reach to that level. So in June, we will be learning game designing. In July, it is like add-on. How do we combine Scratch with the robotics kit and do like joystick controlled games? Are you excited about doing that?
Yes.
Then really get on track, do your homework. And when you do your homework, don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Get as much as creative and bring in all your creative juices and make your project really a strong one. Okay? Yes. I'll see you in next class with another game. So I have all your suggestions in mind. Racing game, maze game. I'll come up with a cool tutorial for next class, and I'll see you in next class. Bye-bye.
Bye, Coach.
Bye.
Bye.